Okay, so what do you do if you actually make good money, quite a bit of money, but you also have a back IRS tax problem? Now, I know for some of you, you're probably watching this and you're like, what the hell is RC talking about? Like, if you made a lot of money, you would have just paid your taxes, right? And I get that perspective, but if you're in this situation, you know exactly what I mean, because on paper, at least on paper, you actually did make some good money. Like maybe your business is clocking six figures, multiple six figures in revenue. Maybe you're even multiple seven figures, but something happened in your life, in your situation where you didn't comply with your tax obligation. Maybe you haven't filed in forever and your records are just a complete disaster zone, like a bomb just went off in your receipts. Or maybe you owe six figures. If you owe mid, high six figures, or even seven or multiple seven figures in back taxes. I see this all the time with people who, at least on paper, are making decent money, but they have a humongous back tax problem with the IRS. So all you guys out there saying it doesn't happen, what are you talking about? It does happen, and it happens a lot. The reason it happens is because making money on paper doesn't equate necessarily to financial success or astute financial management. And that's how a lot of people get in trouble, because they made a lot of money on paper, but they had cash flow issues, or they had other problems in their life or business, or they were just overwhelmed and didn't have the time to take care of it and think about it. So if you're in that situation, what exactly do you do about it? I would say the number one thing is you need to be completely intellectually honest with yourself about the severity of your situation. You have to understand that the average person, definitionally, according to Internal Revenue Service statistics, who have back tax problems truly owe less than $25,000. And I think if you're talking less than 50, you're probably getting 95% of the population in there. Most people who on paper make a lot of money, but they have tax problems, they owe way more than $25,000 to $50,000. And if you have unfiled tax returns, it's not like if you were a W-2 and you didn't file your taxes, you could just pop over to TurboTax and just like fill it out and be done. You understand, like if you have a business entity or a sole proprietorship or a corporation or a partnership that has unfiled tax returns, most people I deal with, their records are a complete mess, and that's part of why they didn't file. So you got to understand your problem is literally like in the top 5 to 10% severity of tax problems in the entire US of A, baby. And so what do you think the IRS, like if they're snooping around for people to go give hell about their tax problem, who do you think they're going to spend their time going after with the most vigor? Is it going to be Granny, who owes $22,000? She's 83 years old and her only income is Social Security. She's making $30,000 a year on Social Security. Or is it going to be some dude who owes $400,000, hasn't filed his taxes in a long time? According to a bank account analysis in his 1099s, he's making $800,000 top of line per year. If you were the IRS, just be intellectually honest with yourself. Who would you want to go after? I know who I'd want to go after, and it's not grandma, it's you. So you got to be honest with yourself that this is going to be enforced at the absolute highest level, and you need to seek help that's commensurate with the severity of your situation. So you need to work with someone who actually specializes in larger cases and can give you specific examples of larger cases that have happened. The one thing I do want to assure you is if you work with someone who is like that, where they have true experience with larger cases, there is a solution to this problem. You don't have to think, my only option is to just shut my business down, liquidate all my equipment, and go live under a friggin' rock for the rest of my life and eat instant ramen every single day because all my money's going to the IRS. There is a solution. The IRS is willing to work with you, even if you owe 6 or multiple or 7 or multiple 7 figures in back taxes. They are willing to work, but what you have to understand is the strategy and negotiation skills you have to obtain and utilize to get a workable outcome or an entirely higher echelon of quality than if you were, say, owing $32,000 and you're a W-2 earner. So the problem can be fixed, but it's very important to approach it in the right way. There's so much more at stake. You have to know how to negotiate. You have to know how to get your tax filings caught up. And you also have to know how to future-proof your business and your life to stop accruing these problems in the future. So, if that's the kind of thing you're interested in and you want to implement change in your life, I would encourage you to reach out to us by going above or below and clicking and entering your information. Like, we could set up a time to speak and we can give you the straight and narrow on your situation. I want to be honest with you because I do run into this a lot in the tax resolution business. You know, these are big projects. There's a commensurate investment that is required to get high quality help. And, you know, for most of our clients, they get that and they're able to make it work. But I just want to let you know up front before you spend any of your time, you know, that's something that would be needed to truly get someone to put in the intricate, immense amount of work required to get you a really good outcome in your case. So if you're looking to get this resolved as soon as possible and you want high quality help, enter your info and set up a time with us and let's see what we can do to help.